These bands are one of the best tools in calisthenics training. Of course, they're not necessary, but they're so inexpensive and their pros far outweigh the cons that it seems a no-brainer to add them as one of your tools for your training. But how you use a band matters, and it can take some skill to get it right. So using planche and front lever as the examples, this is my guide on how to use these bands correctly in your training. So first things first, you actually need to understand the skill that you're looking to perform with the band. For planche, we're looking to depress and protract the shoulders with a posterior pelvic tilt. For a front lever, we're looking to depress and retract the shoulders with that same posterior pelvic tilt. It's my opinion that if you're using a band to hold a harder shape, it should only be the shape one level higher than what you can already hold with body weight. So tuckers have no right to go for a full planche with the band if they can't do advanced tuck with body weight. So now that you understand technique, the band can do one of two things. Firstly, it can provide more opportunity for volume. And secondly, it can give you an opportunity to access a harder variation. The more volume speaks for itself. It's just doing what you've been doing with body weight, but getting more time in the position. The harder position is so you can get used to a progression that you've not tackled before. Straddle would be a great example of this. The way it feels on the glutes compared to what you've done before with advanced tuck feels really different. So making that position a bit easier so you can really focus on what's required to feel it out just before you go body weight out of nowhere can really improve the quality of your training towards your next goal shape. In either, the band needs to add only enough assistance that it just meets the requirements. So if the band adds like 15 seconds, or it allows you to hold a harder progression at a 5 out of 10 effort, it's likely the band is taking you out of a realistic position, diminishing the quality of the set. These rules can go the other way as well, so unless maxing out, if the band is too light, you'll know because it won't make any discernible difference to the set, whether it's a longer hold time or actually just getting time in the harder position. So this next one I'm going to set up to show how the band is just helping way too much. You need to go through this with a bit more of a finer tooth comb to see if you're being honest with yourself, if you're breaking technique. So this is going to be like 30 plus kilos of assistance. And you can see, I don't need to really set up. I can lose position in the shoulders, push the hips down and pull back up. I can float around a lot. I can make a lot of adjustments. If the band is the right amount of assistance, it still should be very difficult to do all those things just like it would be with body weight. But if you really feel the freedom to move around a lot more than you would with body weight, that's a likely sign. The other one is just look for form breakdown. If you can scrub through filming of yourself doing a set and you can clearly see form breakdown from the start to the end, yet you're still holding it up there, that's another sign that it's just too helpful to really be getting that value, that quality in your workout. For a front lever or a planche, you want it to be going around the hips. You want the band to be assisting in the direction you're exerting effort. And when you're watching a set back, you should see that the band is directly above. You shouldn't see yourself pulling the band out in front. You shouldn't see yourself setting up with the band stretched out behind. And you also want to be mindful that even if you've set it up well in the set position, do you lean out of that alignment when you actually do the set? This can really only be achieved if you just play around with it and film it and watch it back and just check that the alignment is right. You can feel like you're having some decent quality sets and look back and you've still stretched the band out away from you. I wouldn't say this is a make or break if you really understand technique, but it's something that you just want to try to dial in because when you go body weight, you're not going to be getting that same feeling. Try to be very open-minded when analyzing your technique. So for example, when I use the band for this full planche, I honestly thought I was having a good workout. This was a good set that was helping set me for full planche. But compare that set to this one a year or more later and look at the difference. This only came from being open to taking on feedback and always thinking that there's room to improve. The band can give the illusion that you're better than you are. So you just want to be making sure that you keep your ego in check as you progress to harder variations and thinner bands. Even a set like this, where the band is slightly poked further out, is much, much easier than when I can position the band directly underneath them. Bands can be used as your first exercise for the session if you're pushing to a new shape. They can be used as your secondary or assistance exercise if you're looking to just get more volume in the position. Whatever you choose, just know bands are an excellent tool for calisthenics training as long as they are used wisely and don't turn into your ego booster 5000. Okay. It's too old. It's too bloody old, that is.